Hey bag ladies, it's time to take out the trash, and we're not talking about clothes. Well, get your bag ties ready. Listen to Black Woman starts now. Whether you call it tired, toxic, or trash, it all means the same thing. The situation just ain't right. It's cluttering your life. Have you heard of tidying up with Marie Kondo? The decluttering expert has been kicking butt as an author and host of a hit Netflix series. Ultimately, she directs overwhelmed clients to remove things from their lives that don't spark joy. What a succinct way to change, well, everything. That brings us to today's topic. Should you Marie Kondo your personal life? I want to have my joy sparked. Okay. Africa.
I love Marie. Marie is my friend. I believe in, living my best life, as everyone says. But no, I'm obsessed with her. Her book, Tidying Up the Show, like everything. I am on a quest to declutter every area of my life. But honestly, if you're not that familiar with Marie, she has turned this whole thing of sparking joy into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. She's had this New York Times bestselling book, and we know that self-help alone is a $10 billion industry. So I'm like, there might be something said to decluttering if it makes this happen. I want to spark joy in my financial life as well.
I have mixed feelings about it. I remember growing up, my mom used to always say that your room is a reflection of your mental state. So with the whole KonMari method and decluttering, I can definitely see how it can give you peace of mind, ease some stress, to walk into a room where everything's organized. However, I do think it's really hard to maintain that. I don't know how y'all keep up with them little wee folded clothes.
Well, yeah,
I don't know how you do it.
That's a little challenging.
But, ridding yourself of things that do not bring you any type of happiness. It's a great concept. For people, too.
The concept's twofold for me. Half of it I agree with, half of it I'm just like, it seems like there's a little privilege to having excess things and being able to just discard them, especially in the culture. If you grew up with only 2 or 3 sweaters and you're like, I need these sweaters. They don't spark joy, but they keep me warm. And the other part of it, I do agree with getting rid of things that do not spark joy in your life, i.e. friends. I think about Cynthia Bailey and Nene Leakes. If you watch their friendship, it's clear that one of them is very much more toxic than the other. And it just becomes such a burden to have to deal with people like that. So I do understand decluttering your personal life so that, you can have things that do spark you joy and also welcome other things into your life. So let's take it to these social media streets and see what you guys have to say. @Mika241 tweeted, while we're spring cleaning, don't forget to also get rid of any relationships, bad habits, old patterns, outdated grudges, or anything you no longer serving you. Well, yeah, we trash it out.
Yeah.
I used to do that at the end of the year. My birthday is Christmas Eve, so I would always do a year reflection. It's who makes it to the new year, who doesn't, cleaning out contacts on my phone. I do that every year.
You were one of those people where they're if you don't hear from me, you didn't make it.
I don't announce it. I hate when people announce that. Just do it. So no, but if you haven't heard from me, there's probably a reason
That's what
why.
happened.
Yes, you did make it.
I keep the same crew around. No new friends. No. Forever the Lady said, it's time for some spring cleaning, and I don't mean around the house. Time to go through text messages, screenshots, friends, pictures, and hit delete. Damn, I can't even keep my pictures.
Yo,
Clean it out.
text messages is a really big
I'm not deleting my text messages.
We were just talking about that, having go with old people that you used to be in relationships with. Stop going back and reading it, sis. Delete.
There's a meme that says it's real when you delete the text
yes,
thread.
That big swipe, delete all. But it's important because otherwise you're going back to a space that you're no longer in anymore. So it's why keep bringing yourself back there?
Right now, let's get into the polls.
Yes, as always, we took to our MadameNoir.com audience to find out what you think about KonMariing your life. We asked, what area of your life is the biggest mess, with 62% of you saying romantic relationships, 20% of you saying work relationships, and 18% of you saying friendships. That sounds real familiar, because we'll be I got my girls, I got my career, but that man, he keeps acting up. And it just is always that one little piece.
Yeah.
That's not a part of the puzzle.
This is true.
You KonMari your life. I'm just saying.
What, are you going to fold him up and put him in the closet?
Or fold him up and put him in the trash. No, I'm just
one or the other.
You don't spark joy. You gotta go. You gotta go.
We also asked, have you ever ghosted a friend or a relative, with 92% of you saying yes and 8% saying no? A lot of people are out here ghosting, and I can't be mad at them because not only have I ghosted people, but people have ghosted me. I've been toxic before, and I think sometimes you have to come to terms that you could be the draining person. No, I don't agree that you should tap out of all these relationships without communication. Like, at least give some kind of heads up, like, this is a lot. I know with me and my girlfriends, before we do a whole feelings dump, we say, do you have space for this? Or are you okay to receive this?
That's so lovely.
Yeah, because it's just emotional respect, because you can't always just come with a dumpster truck of your shit and be like, take it, you're my friend, you're forced to do this.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so we have respect for each other's boundaries.
Damn, I don't know. I feel like you owe people in your loved ones. I feel like you do owe them some type of communication, because ghosting to me is just like, again, it goes back to like girl code. It goes back to when I think about Cynthia and Nene's relationship. How far, do you go to you just ghost a friend like that? Like how much is enough to throw a friend away? And I'm just like, I feel like if you also can talk through it, now that may not happen often, or that may not be as super effective if the person isn't ready to hear it. But if they are, you wouldn't even know, because you didn't even try to talk to them about it and give them that clarity. And also it's clarity for you as well.
But sometimes it's time to come to an end. Because if we're looking at her method, it's about like looking at your life as a whole and saying like, does this spark joy? And there can be people, like we all know, you can love them from afar. And I love shoes, but I don't need 10,000 pairs. Like there are my favorites. There are ones that are comfortable. There are ones that are showstoppers. But there's just a random shoe that always hurts my foot every time I wear it. And sometimes there are relationships like that, and you can try to make it work and it just doesn't. And I think there does come a time when people gotta go.
But is it really realistic to be able to purge all these people who don't spark joy in your life?
Yes, absolutely. I know, but family and friends and whoever else, yes. And again, I use sparks joy loosely, because it's not like my friend made me mad today. You don't spark joy. Get rid of you. Okay. But it's a friendship in totality analysis.
I also feel, when we're looking not just our personal lives, but our professional lives as well, you have so many Black women now that are growing these businesses, and we're really like expanding what our lives look like. And we have so many things that pull on us. And these are like toxic familial relationships. These are like, you're making all this money at work now, but you're still taking care of 10 family members. How can we grow if we still have all of these things that we need to work on? And this, I do think it's all connected. So while I'm not saying you got to throw all your family and friends out with the trash, I think it is helpful to, again, do that litmus test, look at your life and say, who are the people that are supporting my wins? You're not just necessarily throwing things away, but you're opening your heart and your mind and, and your bodies to good things and new opportunities. So it's not always about just getting rid of the old, but like, what about the new? Like, what about the new things that we can have if we make space for them?
Ooh, I love that.
Well, speaking of space, my social media and purging, yes. I have learned about the mute button. My handy dandy friend Kiara taught me about this, and it's just a way, because sometimes you don't need to completely purge people. You just need a break from them. And I found that muting certain people on my social media gives me the space to go back to them when I want to, because let's be real, if you unfollow certain people and they realize, it could be a whole thing. It's like, sis, I just didn't want to see your 10th picture for the day, okay? Reminding me what I need to do better at, okay? So muting is also a thing, but cleaning out your spaces like social media and, like you said, professional life are real things too. So I agree there. All right, Marie. Anyway, Kiara, we talked about a lot. Can you bring it home for us?
All right, ladies, it's time to clean house. If you have personal relationships that don't feel good and haven't been working for a while, do yourself a favor and declutter your mental and emotional space. It's really that simple.
Well, thank you, ladies, and thank you all for joining in on another episode of Listen to Black Women. As always, check out HelloBeautiful.com, MadameNoir.com, and take our polls, because we want to hear from you. Until next time, guys, stay black
clean
and listen to Black Women.